All right, beautiful evening, friends, and welcome to Fitness Talks with Anand on the platform of ISFS, that is ISST School of Fitness Sciences. This is in association with UHFF, which is United Health and Fitness Federation. This is the first registered federation for fitness industry in India. So, friends, as this season was completely dedicated to Dr. Rajendra Sathe's and he was our guest. Today we are concluding the season with the last episode, and we are addressing this time today the relationship issues and sexual fitness in men. Let's get started with Dr. Sathe. Now, Dr. Sathe has been a sexologist for 35 years, and it has been a pleasure having him on this platform and sparing his time, being so patiently answering all the questions. He's really created a lot of awareness, and we've got very good responses. So, after this session, if you have any questions, please do write to us, and we'll try and get the answers for you. Let's get Dr. Sathe online.
So, beautiful evening, doctor, and welcome to Fitness Talks with Anand.
Yes, good evening.
So, good evening. It's been a wonderful season, and there has been so much to learn. And today we are talking on the topic relationship issues and fitness, sexual fitness in men. So,
Correct.
let's get to the point, doctor. Let's hear about this.
Yes. See, the problems that are commonly seen in men, they can happen at any age, and they are a lot of they cause a lot of distress, you know. And because
Right.
of the distress, the men are mentally and emotionally very much disturbed, and they lose their confidence. They can, sort of suddenly go into depression and one fine day where when he experiences erectile dysfunction for the first time in his life, uh, he sort of gets into a thinking mode as to why is it happening to me, and sort of all those things. So
Correct.
we I always tell patients that there's always a first time for everything, and there is no need to be afraid of what has happened, because we have solutions to your problem. And
Correct.
once we are able to find out as to why the problem has happened, then the help is always there.
Correct.
Uh, if a person gets, sort of emotionally disturbed because of this, then I have to first counsel him and allow him to get out of the emotional issues. And
Correct.
tell him that, look, just like you get a cough and a cold or a fever and sort of a body ache or a backache or something, you can land up in this problem anytime in your life, and there is no need
Right.
for you to feel dejected.
Right.
The real problem comes when a man, in his youth, in his say 20s, who is planning to get married, experiences this just before marriage, or there are some people who are so scared that they don't even want to get married. And I have had many cases like this, where the man, he is scared of getting married because he feels that after marriage, if he's not able to perform in the bed with his wife, then his sort of ijat will be lost in society, and he will be sort of
Right.
looked down upon by his friends and all those people. So
Correct.
we have to find ways and means by which we can give them some kind of a treatment so that they will definitely get confidence and sort of come back to their normal state again. uh,
Right.
some men, they try masturbation to check whether they are able to get erect or not. Some men
Hmm.
go to a commercial sex worker, and I have had one particular case where that man, he went to a commercial sex worker, and he failed over there, and then that had such a drastic impact upon his life that he went into a severe depression, and today he says that I want to get married. So what should I do? I say, well, it is your choice, it is your decision. I cannot take the decision in your part. All the tests that we have done in your case, they're all normal. There's no need to worry about it. There could be a few readings here and there, but otherwise, if you are getting early morning erections and all those things, then there should be no reason for you to get so scared of getting, getting into a relationship with a girl. Well, I'm still working on him, and I'm trying to convince him that look, you get married, and if in case you after you get married you have a problem, do come to me and I'll help you out. And it all depends again on the partner that they get. Sometimes some women, I have known women who have walked out on their husbands the second day after they got married because the first night they were not able to perform. Those cases are also there, and I have had up to 29 years after marriage, and then they had their first sexual act. So it all depends on how your partner is able to adjust, and it depends on how open you are with your partner.
Correct.
Many men tend to, not to disclose these things to their partner, and then they land up in more trouble.
Right.
There is a pro and a con even to this, because sometimes some women are very aggressive. They say that you cheated me, you knew you had the problem, but yet you didn't tell me before marriage, I would not have married you. Some women are very supportive. They say no, okay, that's okay, no problem, we'll go to a doctor and we'll see what he has to
Right.
say.
Right.
So this is something which cannot be predicted in a couple. That is something which we have to always take into consideration before we get married. But nowadays, getting separated is also not such a big stigma. So after getting married, if you separate, then that is sort of taken for the society does understand about it.
Right.
So these are the issues that people face in the young days. But basically, coming back to the problem of sexual problems that men face, they are usually problems regarding sexual desire. Then there could be problems regarding sexual arousal. Then there could be problems in the orgasm, and then there could also be sexual pain. Now, all these
Correct.
issues we had also seen in case of women, but these issues are also there in case of men. And we
Right.
need to find out why this could be happening. I had one particular patient who had such severe aversion to sex and the female genitals that he said that I don't even think that I can look at it, forget touching it, the genital area of a woman. So this particular patient, though he got married, their marriage was never ever consummated because he could never perform, because he was put off by just by looking at the female genitals. Now these are very rare cases, but they do happen, and we have to try to find out as to why it can happen. And again, desensitization of that particular issue has to be done, but for that the man himself should be ready to take proper treatment, because they usually are forced into a marriage by their parents. They get married, and then once they realize that these problems are happening, the severe aversion disorder kicks in, and then there is absolutely no sexual activity between the husband and the wife. This can happen.
Right.
Then there is something known as hypoactive sexual desire. So in there here, if you compare a man and a woman, one partner is usually always hypoactive, which is very rare to find both men, a man and his wife, having the same level of sexual desire.
Right.
It is impossible, in fact. But if a man has hypoactive sexual desire, then it can really be a problem, because in case of a man, unless he has the desire to have sex, he will not get an erection, and then sex will not happen. And if the woman wants sex, and if she's not able to get the pleasure of sex, then there are a lot of relationship issues over here. And
Correct.
in case of a woman, that issue is not so great, because she does not have to have an erection to get sexually involved with with her partner. So in that way, women are not so badly affected by the hyperactive sexual desire. If they want, they can still have sex with their partner, and sort of the marriage will still work. But if a man has hypoactive sexual desire, then it can be a real big problem. And there are some men who are just plain lazy, who don't want to move, who just pade raho, type of a mentality. And then in such cases, I usually have to counsel them, tell them how sexual fitness is important. and how physical fitness will contribute to their sexual fitness. So
Right.
this is the way in which I tell them. Some of them, they join your gym for a few days, for a few weeks, and then again they are at home. You know how difficult
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
for
Yes. Yes.
people to get them back to the gym. They pay their fees just because their
Correct.
partner tells them, and then they
Right.
come, they just while away their time and chat around, and then they go back home. So the
Yeah.
motivation
Yeah.
factor over here is, something which has to be there from inside you.
Correct.
And I don't know how it can be triggered off. We can counsel them, talk to them, explain to them. But
Right.
every day, I've seen that even people who are physically fit, sometimes they feel that, "Are nako, aaj chodo, rehne do." And after they come to the gym and then after they work out, then they realize that, yes, today, now my day is going to turn out well. And so, in fact, if
Correct.
I don't go and do any physical activity at all, then my whole day is gone wasted, sort of. It goes into, the laziness seeps into your blood so much that you
Yes.
just cannot get it out of your system.
So
So
true.
that is where I feel that sexual fitness and physical fitness go hand in hand, and that is where I keep counseling people and tell them to follow a proper diet also, because what I have seen is sugar, intake of sugar and sugary foods and carbohydrates also definitely contribute to these issues. And I have seen that people who have been put on high protein diet and a moderate fat diet, actually we now know that even if you eat fat alone, it is not going to be dangerous. So if you eat
Right.
butter as it is or ghee as it is not going to make you gain weight. But if you put it on bread,
Yeah.
the bread is going to make you gain weight, not the butter. That is what people
Correct.
still don't understand. And I have to still counsel them on those matters regarding diet. So,
So true.
in fact, there are a few dietitians also who don't agree with this theory, of intermittent fasting and how fats and carbohydrates and
Yes.
sugars and all that. They say you have to eat small amount of food every 3 hours and all those things. But somehow, as a physician, I feel that that is not true. You should not. You should ideally follow 2 meals a day pattern if you really want to keep your weight in control. And if you can even go to 1 meal a day, it is also good, because it is not going to make you, fall sick, or maybe you'll, lose weight or something like that. You can still remain
Right.
healthy, eat proper food, eat proper high protein food. And in India, especially, I've seen that many times people eat high carb food, and that is really what contributes to their obesity and sluggishness. So these
Yes.
are the
Yes.
issues when it comes to the hypoactive sexual desire, and how sexual fitness can definitely help them to overcome these issues.
So
Okay,
I
so
really agree with this, and I also feel that, as you said, what is the solution for people who are lazy and who go to the gym or they do 1 or 2 days? So here we have seen that personal training is something that really helps. So having a trainer makes a lot of difference, because that person is going to be talking to you every day about exercise and about nutrition, and he'll try his best. So the first job of a personal trainer, I feel, is to make sure that the client, the member, is consistent. And for that, I have seen so many wonderful efforts. I have seen trainers, if the client doesn't come, the trainer goes to the house and maybe will do a 15 minutes quick workout, but he'll make sure that the member does not miss. And that creates a psychology that, great. So tomorrow is, next day is also easier to go to the gym because the exercise was not missed. So as you
yeah,
said, that if the laziness sets in on one day, it can also be carried forward, and it's very easy to become lazy after that. So every
correct.
day to be active is very important.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it comes in your genes. I feel it comes
Yeah,
through your genes.
yeah,
The desire to exercise and to remain fit, it comes into your genes. Because even
yes,
in the United States, when I'd been there, I saw gyms over there which were open for 24 hours a day. And especially in New
yes,
York City, I saw that
yes.
people were in their gyms working out even at 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. in the morning, which
So
was
true.
which was truly, amazing for me. They
And that's what,
the
yeah,
fittest people are always already, yeah,
you will see there is something which is known as IRSA, International Health Racket and Sports Club Association. They do a lot of surveys and they have a lot of analytics. So they also, so US is a place, US and Europe. Generally, the people who, the awareness of fitness, people utilizing gym is 25 to 30% of their population, whereas the same in India is only 1% of our population. So the 24-hour fitness gyms are doing well over there. Whereas there were some 24 hours fitness gyms, there are some right now also. But in India, they are not doing so well because there's no awareness. People don't go to the gym. And the only specific hours in the gym, peak hours are morning 6 to 8:39 and evening 6 to 8. So
Correct.
after that, no, people rarely use the gym.
Yeah, but I am really thankful to you because Talwalkar's is I think the only gym that opens at about 4:30 or quarter to 5 in the morning, and that
Yeah.
is because of consistent efforts of our group of people, about 15
Yes,
of
yes,
us
yes.
who come there at that time,
Definitely,
where
definitely.
we call ourselves the Tol Bhairav group, and, and
I know, and there
wherever,
are people who are there sharp 5 o'clock. They are inside every
yeah,
single day, and that's so
yeah, yeah.
amazing. That's what
So
even
that is,
changed Madhukar sir's mind, and he said, "Arey, people want to exercise, so keep it open."
yeah, yeah.
So such a
So
wonderful
you
group,
have
yes,
a skeleton staff over there, but that's fine. We are happy as it is, and we
yes,
listen to
yes,
music, and then we listen
yes.
to our favorite songs, and it really peps us up. That is the real golden hour of the day for us.
So true, so true. Yes.
So
So yes,
that is how
coming
it
back
works
to
out. Yeah.
yeah,
So now coming back to the next part, where the next problem that men usually face because of desire issues is erectile dysfunction, which is very, very common,
right,
and which usually affects all men sometime or the other in their life.
right,
And as I told you, the problems of erectile dysfunction can be because of mental problems, it can be because of physical problems. Now, there is one
right.
question below which I cannot see, but I cannot read the whole question. Is
So
what is his problem? Is it because of a fitness problem or is it because of a physical problem?
So
That's
it
only
says,
what I
sir,
can.
the question by this person is that, sir, so question by Fitness Boy 707, sir, I have one client. He was said that, so he said that he can't spend more time on bed with his partner. So what's his problem? It's something about fitness problem or some physical problem. I think the question is a bit incomplete, but though,
Okay, okay.
right,
Anyway, this issue something I think I need to talk to him personally because this
right,
is an issue I believe which is there in his head.
right,
Something which pulls him away from his partner. Now, in
hmm,
any relationship, there is a push factor and a pull factor. Whenever a friendship develops between two people, it could be a man and a woman or a man and a man. There is a pull factor which pulls you towards that particular person, but there also is a push factor where
right,
there are some issues. Now, for example, some men say that their partners are not very hygienic about themselves. They are not clean.
hmm,
Men see porn, and then when they see porn, they see the beautifully polished bodies of the Western girls over there, and then they expect their partners to be like that. And if she is a person who is naive, who doesn't know anything, who doesn't go to a beautician, who perhaps doesn't do her body hair and all that, then a man can get pushed away from her. But then he should be able to tell it to her and maybe get her to a counselor. Now we have female counselors also in our clinic who can talk to them and who can explain to them the importance of hygiene and cleanliness, especially of the genital areas and all those things. So
right.
that could be one issue. Sometimes body odor is another issue. Sometimes just pure, in fact, I always ask one question that are you really physically attracted to your partner? Do you feel your partner is physically attractive to you? And I'm surprised to say that men who have even gone in for arranged marriages, for love marriages also say now after a few years that no, they don't find their partners attractive. So
Wow. Okay.
this is another issue which crops up. So
Right.
this could be some kind of a emotional problem which is sort of pulling him away from his partner, and
Correct.
he doesn't like to be with her. So unless I talk to that particular person, we don't know. So erectile
Yes.
dysfunction, as I said, in the young age, usually it is because of an emotional issue, mainly because usually the the body is quite normal and there are no abnormalities. There is no disease factor contributing. very often guilt regarding masturbation is one issue which can, sort of cause erectile dysfunction in men, or excess masturbation also can cause sometimes a little bit of erectile dysfunction.
Right.
Because what you actually experience physiologically is that if you masturbate, then for the next 24 to 48 hours, you may not experience a good erection, especially as you
Right.
become older. Maybe at the young age you can, but then when that could happen, we don't know. So that could be one more issue. In fact, there is one particular problem which I call as sexual burnout syndrome, where a man indulges in too much of sex or masturbation, and then he lands up
Mm.
in the problem.
Right.
I have all those issues listed on my website. So if anybody is interested, he can go on my website. And the beauty of my website is that it is available in English, Hindi, and Marathi. So it's available in
Wow.
all three languages. I have
Super.
myself translated everything from English to Marathi and Hindi and put it up over there. So those things are there. Plus, all these videos
Wonderful.
will also be linked over there. So you will get the links over there from the website. Plus, my own videos are there. So
Super.
people have to, understand. And after all, sex also is a science. And in order to understand any science, you must understand the basic of it, the root of it. And if you're not able to understand on your own, there's no harm in, sort of taking help of a professional person. Like how, for
Correct.
example, the fitness industry was really, sort of got out into the forefront by Madhukar Talwalkar sir and Talwalkar's
Yes.
gym in India.
Yes.
So they are the
Yes.
pioneers. So till then, it was all only the traditional akhadas or all those things, where though people did become fit, it really didn't show on their bodies because they still had huge bellies. They had muscles, but they still had huge bellies. So we
Right.
need to have a proper diet and a proper way to manage people's health. And this is where I think your group and Tavaka sir has been on the forefront, which I think is the real great part over here.
True. True.
So, so for erectile dysfunction, especially in the young age, I usually talk to them and ask them what could be triggering it off. And then there are treatments, there are methods, but there are some methods where I do not use any medicines at all. There are some methods where I use medicines for just a very short duration of time. And I always tell people, do not go and buy medicines over the counter. Do not buy them online. It's always better to come and talk to a doctor who is ready to hear out your problem and then give you the
Correct.
proper advice.
True.
Now, in the older age group people, erectile dysfunction can be usually because of a disease, where diabetes or blood pressure can contribute, especially diabetes, because there is something known as diabetic neuropathy, which,
Okay.
sort of makes the nerves very weak. And
Hmm.
there is also vitamin B12 deficiency, vitamin D deficiency, which can contribute to all these things. Then there are hormonal abnormalities, especially in the older people, which can contribute to this. So
Right.
we have to find out, and it is a job of a doctor who can sit with you, talk with you, and then do the correct investigations to sort of come to a conclusion and then give proper treatment.
So true.
I have
Yes.
had one particular patient, I think I had mentioned it earlier, where that man, he came with a very high level of prolactin. Where he came to me after visiting 3 or 4 doctors. His blood test showed he had a very high level of prolactin. Then we did his scan, the brain scan, and there we found that he had a very rare tumor of the pituitary gland, near that pituitary gland, called the Rathke's cyst.
Okay.
And then when that
Okay.
was operated, he improved, and he
Hmm.
improved very
Hmm.
fast. And he himself was a very fit person, very fitness oriented person. And the surgery was done by, drilling a hole through his nose between his eyes up to the base of the skull. The
Oh.
ENT surgeon did the hole, he drilled the hole, and the neurosurgeon removed that cyst. After that, within
Wow.
1 month or so, he was quite normal, and I think now he should be absolutely normal because I've not heard from him for a long time. But I know him personally, so I'll get back to him someday. But that should
Right.
not be a problem. But these are the rare things. In fact, this particular cyst, there are only about 250 or 300 cases where the cyst has been diagnosed in the world, where it has been diagnosed in time and it has been treated. So this is something which can
Oh.
also be there.
So the point of
So
vitamin B12 deficiency and vitamin D deficiency is something that is really interesting. So again, it connects the people that your nutrition is so important, because in the end,
Yeah,
it is a muscle. It is a muscle which is acting. So the way you train your other body parts, the other muscles of your body, is how that muscle is also going to be reacting. It needs
correct,
good rest and recovery, good nutrition, along with the exercise that has been given to it.
correct.
So true. Yeah.
So
You were saying, doctor.
usually, usually supplementation of vitamin D and B12 should start by when you are about 30 plus, So I feel that the intake of B12 in our country is very low because we are mainly vegetarian people, and even vitamin D, which is a fat soluble vitamin, which is also on the lower side in majority of men and women also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this issue can also be there.
Right.
So the erectile dysfunction issue, if I go on, I can talk for hours together on that with the differential
Correct.
diagnosis. But
Correct.
basically, that is one common problem that men face. The next common problem that men face is that they have premature ejaculation, where they, as soon as they initiate the sexual activity, may it be masturbation or may it even be sex, within a few
Mm.
seconds or in under a minute or so, the semen gets ejaculated without control at all. And
Right.
then the woman is unhappy because she is hardly getting aroused. The man is
Correct.
unhappy because he loses his semen very fast and then he doesn't get the second erection. Or even if
Mm-hmm.
he gets the erection, the second erection is not really very strong enough. And luckily, this problem can be treated very nicely and with very long-term results and very good results in about 4 to 6 months of therapy. Now, for that,
Okay.
I have seen that I have developed a special way by which I can even counsel these patients on WhatsApp, and I get
Mm.
a regular feedback from them regarding their sexual activities and all that, and I can keep informing them as to what are the errors that they're doing and all those things, and the results do come in, and they are sort of something which can also be verified on paper. So that is how I
Right.
see that premature ejaculation issues can be treated. And even those people who are in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s, if they
Mm.
decide to
Mm.
come and take treatment, I can help them. But
Correct.
very
Correct.
often, what people do is that they just remain quiet, they just keep everything suppressed, they don't
Mm.
talk with their partner. Sometimes their partner is not supporting them. Even if he wants to take treatment, she says, no, no, you don't take treatment. I am happy the way I am. Sometimes that is the issue which I
Yeah.
see in some couples where the girl, his wife says that, no, no, I'm happy. Why do you want to take the treatment? But she doesn't understand. But that her husband ego and his male dominance it gets affected because if he keeps ejaculating early. So
Correct. Correct.
I think they should not interfere in these issues. They should support their partner. That is what I feel. So, for
Right.
example, if a member wants to come to a gym and his wife doesn't support him over there, then issues can be created.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
So true.
So premature ejaculation, I see that it can be treated very well, and I believe that behavioral and cognitive therapy really gives the best possible results. With a little bit of supplementations of all the deficiency states and all those things, we have to correct them. If there are
Correct.
hormonal issues, we have to take the help of an endocrinologist. If there are any psychological or psychiatric issues, I do have my friends who are working in that field to whom I refer my patients because there are some medicines which can be given. But my take is always that you should not give the medicines for a very long duration. It
Right.
should be just for a very short duration. So
Correct. Correct.
premature ejaculation is another issue. Then size of penis, the shape of the penis is something which bothers a lot of men. So again,
Mm.
get your penis examined, go to a doctor, take pictures of your penis when it is erect, and go to a doctor and show it to him. See what he has to say. Most of the time, the issue is not so severe, but I have seen some rare cases where the penis was almost like this. It was totally bent in a 90-degree angle, and
Right.
then that particular patient had, he had such a big degree, so we had to do a surgery to make it straight. There are surgeries
Right.
available to do that, and it is quite easily done. There are urologists who do the surgery, even in Pune and in Mumbai also. So that
Correct.
issue is there. Then there is a problem of phimosis, which can cause a lot of pain. The skin is so tight and it has never rolled back at all. So if he tries to push a erect penis with the skin very tightly, tight in front, and the penis skin gets pulled back when he inserts the penis inside, he will get pain and the erection will go away. So that issue is also there. So these are the issues which are commonly seen. Lack of knowledge is the first, actually the most important, where the man has complete and utter lack of knowledge of his anatomy, of his wife's anatomy. So all that
Correct.
also has to be treated, told to them. And even for erectile dysfunction nowadays, there is something a treatment which is available, which we call as the implant therapy. Where there is an implant which is inserted into the penis, which is again done by a urologist, and
Okay.
then the penis can be erected. So there is a vacuum erection device also which can be used. But I
Okay.
personally do not like the vacuum erection device because people are not really very happy. Patients are not happy. Then
Hmm.
there is
Hmm.
uh, these are the treatments which are available.
Right.
There is one extracorporeal shock therapy which is also given, but again, people are not very happy with that. So there are at the root of the penis,
Hmm.
there is a vibration which is induced, which is sort of supposed to give a good erection. But
Okay.
again, the results are not very promising. Then there is something
Hmm.
known as a Priapus shot, where
Hmm.
where the plasma rich protein is injected back into the penis root from the man's own body. And
Okay.
people say that it makes the penis bigger and it makes it more erect and all that. But again, they are very expensive treatments. I really do not recommend it right now because I do not have too much of faith in them. So I'm a
Right.
conservative type of a physician who believes more in counseling and therapy rather than going for all these high-tech measures.
Correct.
But if I see that the results are good later on, maybe I would definitely suggest it to them.
Correct.
So these
True.
are the issues which sort of can be used to treat a problem of in men.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
medicines also are there. But again,
Right.
no one should take any medicines on their own. They should always take the advice of a
Check with the
doctor
doctor. Yes.
and and then find out. And
Yes.
as I said, that the medicines should not exceed a few months. 3 to 4 months treatment usually should suffice, and the problem should get
Correct.
resolved after that.
Correct. Correct.
So
True.
that is how it works out.
That's wonderful. There are so many facts and so many stories that you've shared. It is a very easier way to for people who are to connect with it and to know that there is a solution.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah,
of just thinking that that's the problem and there's no solution about it. So
correct.
wonderful, yes. So there's another question saying that whether or not pregnant women should work out and what kind of exercise should be done. So this is a little bit out of the topic, but I
Yeah,
think
but I feel that as long as she doesn't have any issues, actually, this is something which she should ask her gynecologist and
correct.
obstetrician. So, if there are issues, where the uterus is anteverted, or if there are any issues about the uterine opening, the os being a little, sort of weak or something, where she could, have a spontaneous abortion or something. In that case, she should not. But otherwise, she can do exercises,
Yes, yes,
and yoga is also good for them. Plus, they can do isometric exercises of the hand and of the body and even of the back and all those things. So those
right.
exercises are good, and by far, then walking is the best exercise for them also. So you need not
Perfect,
have,
perfect.
very um, exercises which induce any pressure on the abdomen, but
Yeah.
the legs and arms can still be worked out without any
In fact,
issues.
if the delivery is normal, I have trained a lot of prenatal and postnatal females, and we've trained till about eighth month, where as per the doctor's suggestion, of course. But if the delivery is normal, then you can work out even to one day before the delivery. The workouts are designed in such a way that you get better. Your mood swings are controlled, your hormones are controlled, you feel
Yeah,
good, and your delivery, the chances of getting a normal delivery are more in that case. Yeah,
Correct.
definitely.
Correct.
Mhm.
And what I have seen also is that women who join the gym after delivery quicker
Yeah,
also become fitter faster, and they also get the flat stomach
so
again.
true. Yes,
So
yes,
if they continue to, sort of just stay at home and eat sugary foods, then they keep bloating up, and the abdominal
correct.
muscles they don't contract again. So
Yeah,
if they take proper exercise, especially abdominal muscle exercises after delivery, provided again they have had a normal delivery, not a cesarean section.
mm,
But even otherwise also, for C-section also, after a certain duration of time, they can ask the doctor whether they can do those exercises, because the body heals very fast. It is an amazing feature of the human body that after the
so true.
operations also the body can heal very fast, and then what they will see is that they will return back to their normal body shape again. So
Wonderful.
that is where
Great.
perhaps our culture doesn't allow the woman to go out of the house for such a long time, and then
Yeah, yeah,
she
correct.
also is totally engrossed in her child that she neglects her own body, and
Own
then
body,
that
yes.
can create trouble. That can create trouble for her,
And it does in so many females. I've seen it in so many females because, and then
especially
after a point
diabetes
it
and blood
becomes,
pressure.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
And after a point, the psychology, it becomes that, no, now I will not be able to exercise. Now so much weight
yeah,
has been put on. Then psychologically, the person
yeah,
becomes very low and the confidence is
correct,
lost. It happens
correct,
with most of them. Yeah,
absolutely,
true. So,
right.
that's a wonderful talk on, and I think we have addressed so nicely all the topics. And today we are concluding our season with this episode where we are
Right.
talking about this relationship issues and the sexual fitness of males. But the best thing, doctor, firstly, thank you for sparing all this time and sharing this with us. And also, the best part about this was every story that you have said, every case that you have discussed with us. So many people have told me that yes, a person can relate to that immediately and then know that there is a solution, which a lot of people did not know till now. So that's been a wonderful star attraction of this
Yeah,
talk that we are
I'm
having.
really very thankful to you, because when I saw some of your videos earlier, I thought that we should make some videos on on this subject, and you were open to the
Absolutely.
idea. And
Yes,
I'm
yes.
sure that Talwalkar sir has also liked it very much. I will speak with him
Absolutely.
again sometime
He
later.
appreciated it so much, and he was his
Yeah,
best point was that Anand, yes, this is not talked about much, and this education is
yeah,
also very very important, and he was very
yeah,
happy that we are doing this. In
yeah,
fact, taking sexuology, which also the talks are not as much about exercise, but see this platform, which is ISFS, it's about school. It's a school where education is important. So some or the other way, sexuology is connected to health, fitness, and exercise and nutrition. So, and who better than you, who is practicing exercising, who is practicing all of this himself? So, it was a great pleasure having you, Doctor. Thank
yeah,
you so much for all your time and efforts.
yeah. Thank you to you and everybody in the gym, and all your friends and ISFS. And I'm really thankful to you. Maybe sometime later we could do some more sessions at random, not a full
Definitely.
season. Let
Sure,
us see.
sure. And
Okay.
doctor, one more thing I wanted, because a lot of people listen to doctors more than
Hmm.
anybody else. So ISFS, we started this with a mission in mind that so many people are working in fitness industry who are not certified, who are not trained properly, and that's when we came up with this that we started with the distance education program, and we are happy to see that after we started, so many other people have also started the same. And COVID-19 created a situation where distance education is very important. But anybody in any city, smallest village somewhere, also has an access to internet nowadays, and he can learn and
Yeah.
become certified and pass on the right
Yeah.
knowledge to the members coming in.
Correct.
So I wanted to know your thinking about this. How important is it to have a certified fitness trainer?
I always say that it is really very important, because I have seen people getting injured, and
Right.
especially some of the non-certified fitness trainers, they unnecessarily tell them to take substances which are really dangerous.
Correct.
So those things are really very important. So each and every person who wants to enter into the fitness industry should definitely go to a institute which trains them, which helps them to understand the basics of human fitness, and tells them that you have to take things in a scientific manner. And also,
Correct.
I sometimes want to tell you people in general is that sometimes the fitness trainer goes overboard in trying to so make the person work out, especially if the
Correct.
person is a senior citizen. So I have had cases where people have got injured while doing excessive of heavy weights. So
Correct.
I tell them that you tell your trainer that you can do more reps with less weight rather than
Correct.
less reps with more weight.
More
Because
weight.
if
Yes.
you get injured, then you definitely sort of lose all the gain that
You
you
are
have made.
you are so right about this, and that is some experiences that we've also come across, where we've seen when a trainer passes out, even if he's a certified trainer, a very important topic which is missing is member psychology.
Yeah,
That topic needs to be covered, where you need to understand what a member really wants. So
correct,
we discuss it with our trainers, and the member doesn't really want to become an Olympic athlete. He doesn't want to go and represent India and get a gold medal. So
correct,
plus his lifestyle is very complicated. He's working, he has stress factor, not eating right. There is drinking and smoking most of the times. So we cannot train them as we are trying to train an athlete, and a lot of people trainers try to do that, and then that makes gives injuries to the members. So at
correct,
ISFS we have specifically added this member psychology and member need analysis, where a
correct,
trainer needs to understand what a member really wants and find that out.
correct,
Sometimes the member also doesn't know what it is, but work with the
correct,
member and find out the real objective, and then work a plan and work accordingly.
correct.
So
Even in
that's
my
something very
clinic,
interesting.
I always do that psychology analysis and what the needs are, because
Correct.
after taking the proper case history and all that, I do make it a point to ask the patient. And if I do forget, then I maybe at a later stage I ask them that what exactly does he want out of the treatment that he seeks from me. So if he
Right.
wants to, take treatment for premature ejaculation, at what level will he be satisfied? Does he want to have sex for 5 minutes or 50 minutes?
Right.
Or if he is having erectile dysfunction issue, what is the quality of his erection subjectively rated between 1 and 10, and where
Hmm.
should it go, or what should be the frequency of the sexual act that he wants? And I get crazy answers from some people that they want sex 5 times a day, 8 times in the night, and all that, because they hear stories from their friends sometimes, or they sometimes see movies. But
Right.
then I have to sit and reason it out with them, that look, this is not the way in which it is usually done. And ask your wife whether she really wants to have sex so many times because she'll be more
True,
tired.
true. So,
So, and this is something which I have to explain to him in front of her. And if a woman, if a couple really has such an issue, I tell them that, look, you come together and you discuss this issue. Sometimes the wife wants it, and feels that her husband is incapable of having sex because, see, he gets premature ejaculation and then she remains high and dry. And then she says that he should get a second erection again immediately. Then I have to explain to her that this doesn't happen, you know. So all these things are there, and I have to sit and talk and talk and talk and talk, and that's the way it is, So it is a continuous interaction process. So I have a something which I known as a counseling
uh,
consultation, which is similar to a program which you have, for 4 to 6 months. So I'm continuously every week I'm talking with them, explaining to them. I encourage them to ask questions and
right.
then keep answering them. And now, since the pandemic has become, has come about, I am always available on WhatsApp. So within about half an hour to 1 hour, I usually answer everybody on my number. So WhatsApp is the best way to contact me instead of even calling me,
Right.
so that it remains in writing at your end and at my end. So that way it remains good. So again, while we end, I would tell people to contact me on my WhatsApp number, that is
Right.
818087 and visit my website, that is sexualhealthdoctor.in, or they can just put my name on Google, Dr. Rajendra Sathe, and they'll get all the information on Google Maps as well as my website, and everything is available to them. The videos are also there. Plus, your videos will also be seen on them. I just did a search on Google, YouTube, and I found all of them over there. So that's good.
Right. Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. It was some wonderful talks and so many things that we got to learn. Uh, Okay, we got one comment. Both of you are working very well and getting to learn a lot from both of you. Special thank you very much to both of you. Thank you,
Thank
Fitness
you.
Boy, for the comment and this testimonial. So, such a wonderful memory and such a nice way of getting connected. We got connected in this times, and
I hope
hopefully
the
next
gyms open fast and I'm
yes,
there at the gym
the
again.
next month we are hoping the gyms open up next month. Preferably, I think definitely after Ganpati Visarjan it will open up. So see you at the gym morning as your time is there. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming over, doctor, and talking to us so
Okay.
nicely about the
All right.
energy.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Take care. So, friends, that was Dr. Rajendra Sathe. We did good 7 episodes in this season 2, which was specifically sexology and how exercise and fitness and nutrition is connected to sexuology and to our sexual health. We tried and addressed as many topics as possible, and now, and we were very thankful that Dr. Sathe was there, and he was so patient, and he so nicely with certain his of lot of his case studies, a lot of his patient whatever has happened with their patients, sharing those stories with us. He answered a lot of questions in so many people's mind. He just disclosed his number, so if you have any more queries, please feel free to connect with him. And a very important point that we discussed, ISFS is all about people who want to start their careers or are currently in fitness industry and want to upgrade and update themselves. A platform where you can learn and get educated further and can help your members in a better way. So we will get all our details on www.theisfs.com. I'll repeat once again. That's www.theisfs.com. So you'll get all our details. We have distance education programs. We have students enrolling from all over India. So we also have some international tie-ups done now, and our course is accredited by ISPA. So great. Anybody anywhere can just log in and get access to our curriculums and all our content and can start studying and then appear to a rigorously tough exam, because we make sure that anybody who's passing out from this academy is completely and fully ready for the fitness industry. Because here we are taking care of people's health, and there can be no 90% or no 95, 99%. It has to be 100%. And that's what we believe in. So thank you so much for joining us in this season. We will be back in a few days with season 3 and some new guests, some new topics. Do write to us if you want us to cover some specific topic, or if you want us to invite some specific guest, and we'll be happy to try for that. So thank you so much for joining us on Fitness Talks with Anand. We conclude the season 2 with this episode on the platform of ISFS, that is ISST School of Fitness Sciences, in association with UHFF, that is United Health and Fitness, first registered fitness federation in India. Thank you and have a beautiful evening, guys. We hope that next month the gyms begin and everybody gets back to their routines. Take care.